ago. I just started doing yoga in 2011, actually. It was not all that long ago. And before I started yoga, I was one of those people that just thought yoga's for hippy dippies. It doesn't matter. Oh my God, it's crazy stuff. Why would I do yoga? I honestly believe that. So it got to the point where I couldn't actually move my hands past here. My neck could turn about that far. To touch my toes, I'd have to bring my thighs all the way into my chest. And on top of all of that, I was taking about 8 extra strength ibuprofen every day just to function. And so I was 25. And I was like, this is not okay. So I went there to a yoga class with the idea of just doing something physical. I was like, I want to work out, but I can't. So I said, well, maybe I can do yoga. And I did, and I started doing it. Basically turned my phone off for a couple of weeks and just did yoga every day. And by the end of it, I was feeling great. Physically a lot better. I mean, still couldn't touch my toes, but was feeling a lot better. And I went to what was one of the more challenging classes I've ever done with an amazing teacher. And I couldn't push it. And my brain just shut off. And all of a sudden, instead of trying so hard, I just did it. And I was in arm balances that I'd never done before. I'd never even heard of, and I was in it. And my brain wasn't mine. My body was moving to the direction without my control consciously, and I could just be. And in that moment, all my walls just kind of melted away. And when I left that class, it was a pouring rain, and I think it was in March. It was a rainy March day. And I just took my hood off. I just let the rain wash over me as I was just euphoric. I was like I was high. And all of a sudden I realized that all of this pain and suffering in my life was caused by me putting restrictions on myself. When I was doing my teacher training, I just had that kind of aha moment, or oh no moment, that I'm going to be quitting my job within the year and becoming a yoga teacher. I started doing some more training with an amazing teacher, Shannon Clough. She is such a beautiful teacher in this city and such an inspiration and kind of like a guiding mother for a lot of yogis. And she started teaching me about what it is to be a teacher and how to find yourself, and gave me confidence and strength to be myself. And what I wanted to teach was my kind of yoga, or at least my voice in yoga, which was hard rock and punk music. Yoga is not the postures that we think of. Yoga is everything that brings you peace. So it can be going on a motorcycle. Yoga is so powerful. The physical practice of it is so liberating for some people, not for everyone. Yoga, the asanas aren't for everyone. That's very clear, right? We all have our own way of doing things. But it's a means of opening the body. And the first thing we do is we find more liberation for our body, because we hold so much tension in the body and so much pain and suffering. And that's what I found out the hard way. Is as you start to release that suffering and those aches and pains that we've come to accept as just part of life, as you release them, it releases a lot of emotional stuff too. And so that practice of yoga for me is that melding of the mind, the body, and the breath. And when the three of those things fuse together, in whatever way we get them to fuse together, when they come together like that, then the sum is greater than the parts. And those pieces, they fuse and they create this amazing essence that is us. And we can tap into that strength, that peace, that calmness that exists within us. Yoga is like a tree. And so in the beginning, you can't really see what's happening in the tree. And so you get a little seed It's in the ground. It's not even visible. And then it starts to sprout. And the very first bit, you can see a lot of growth in the tree, right? It's very evident because it's so small. So that first bit of growth, the first feelings of liberating your body, like, whoa, I have so much more movement as I'm doing this. Big change from the sprout to the first little bit of the tree. But after that, then it's still growing just as fast. It's just that you can't see it because it's so much larger. And so the growth, as it begins to branch up and open, becomes not as evident. And so something you notice a lot is people do yoga for a while, like, oh, this does feel good, and then they'll stop because life happens. And we're almost always willing to sacrifice something that we view as solely beneficial for us to do our other activities in life. And it's so sad that we do that. And I do it all the time, right? Where you like take time out of what you need to do, what you want to do, to then do something else for other people. And if you don't, so then the tree stops growing. But if you just keep watering it, keep nurturing it, I don't have to do a lot, just keep doing a bit, it continues to grow and grow and grow. And then you go away, you look away, and you look back, and now you can see there's a difference in the tree. So much of what we hold as ourselves, what we identify with as us, what we say is us, are learned behaviors. They're things that we have experienced, things that we now identify with ourselves. And our beliefs are awesome because they give us identity, they give us space to be. But they also restrict us. They also hold us back because they create a finite definition to what really is an infinite soul. And yes, I do believe that there's an infinite soul. Whatever word you want to call it, we are more than just our beliefs. We are more than just our bodies. Something is combined there. And that's why yoga takes so much work. Because to change, to fight against that, to change the status quo requires energy. It does. There's no way around it. So, yoga is tools that we use. It's tools that we use to figure out who we are, what we are, and strip away all the layers of our belief. And every time you strip one away, you find out that there's more. It's kind of like a potted plant. I love plant analogies, just so you guys know. But it's a potted plant. So the plant grows, and the roots grow, and that pot, those are your beliefs. And guess what? That pot is keeping you safe in this world. It's giving you boundaries. It's keeping the dirt in check. It's giving you a home. But eventually you'll grow to the point where your roots hit the edge of the pot, and you can't grow anymore. And the only way to become larger, to grow to your next stage, is to break the pot. Shatter those beliefs so you have new space, new dirt, new areas to grow, new nourishment. And then you'll grow, and then guess what? You're going to hit another pot. And then another one, and another one, and another one, until there's no more pots. Until you've attained your highest potential.